God made the two great lights, the great light to rule the day and the small light to rule the night, and the stars. Initially, it says the two great lights. Then it says the great light and the small light. According to the plain meaning, the sun and the moon from Earth appear to be the same size, even though the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon. So why do they look the same size? Because the distance of the sun from Earth is 400 times the distance of the moon from Earth. A very interesting thing. So the Torah says don't get confused. But the moon used to be a sun. However, God gave a command for the moon to dim and shrink. The moon came and complained to God, "Two kings cannot share the same crown. How can it be that both the sun and I are the same size?" God said, "No problem, go and shrink yourself." We need to understand the depth of these words. What does it mean that the moon came and spoke? In the Zohar, there are much deeper secrets related to this matter, but we are talking about astronomy now. The sages say, know that the moon used to be a sun, it dimmed and shrank and became the moon. If we had said this to scientists or astronomers before 100, 200 years, or even 50 years ago, they would have laughed at us. Only in the past few decades, it was revealed to researchers that indeed, the moon was once a fiery star. Before us is a picture of the sun. Here we see the moon as it once had its own light, according to NASA's computer-generated images. This is exactly how the moon looked initially, just as the sages said. Something happened there. Slowly, the moon cooled down and shrank until it looked as it does today, from Earth, a dark star receiving its light from the sun and illuminating Earth. This is another example. When we see in the words of the sages data that concerns science, astronomy, things that in the scientific world were once dismissed, it shows they are still behind. But there is also a great moral lesson for man beyond the astronomical issue. Sometimes a person has envy of his fellow, and he would very much like for the other to have less than him. Envy, desire, and honor take a person out of this world. In the book Hovot Alevavot, it says there was a man who the king knew had great envy. He cannot stand for someone else to have more than him. The king, to challenge him, called him and said, "Ask me, I am the king, and can provide you with anything you wish. But you see your friend, he will receive twice as much as you." This is what is said in Hovot Halevavot. 2 days later, the man came to the king and said that he had decided he wanted the king to take one of his eyes. He brings this as an example of how envy can drive a person crazy. The Torah teaches us, when there are two, like the sun and the moon, at the same level, and one envies the other, in the end, it can harm oneself. On the other hand, a person with a good eye, as it is written, a good eye will be blessed. When a person with a good eye wants good for others, is happy and joyful in the happiness of others, then the Holy One, blessed be He, gives him more and more, because the God loves such a person. He has a good eye, always sees the good, always knows how to compliment, to give a kind word. God will give that person blessings,